Within Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Morning, everyone. This is March 6th. I'm headed out this morning. First of all, it's a beautiful, absolutely beautiful day out here. Got down to low 20s this morning. Had about an inch of snow overnight. And I'm out this morning to groom the lake airstrip down one more time to see if we can get a plane in with some last minute supplies. In particular, seed potatoes have just become available and have become very scarce, or somewhat scarce at this point. And so we've picked up some additional seed potatoes to increase our planting this spring. So we're trying to get an additional 40 pounds or so of seed potatoes out here before things start to fall apart. So the mission this morning is get the runway groomed again on the lake before it gets too warm and the snow gets too sticky. And then see if we can get a pilot that's still on skis to bring in those seed potatoes and a couple other items that we have before we go into isolation. Suspect that within the next week, probably within the next week, the conditions will start to deteriorate, and getting a plane in the future will be very slim. We'll go into isolation, which could be 6 to 8 weeks, maybe longer, depending on how everything goes. This far into spring, it was difficult to find a pilot. Typically, most of the pilots on skis are pulling their planes out, doing their annuals, and getting ready for spring flying, whether it's on wheels or floats. So what was I going to do? I needed a pilot, and I needed one pretty soon. So I made up a post for our Facebook page, and I threw that up. And in less than 30 minutes, I had 6 pilots respond saying that they would be happy to deliver whatever I needed. And that's just kind of the way it is in Alaska. So I picked one that was the most convenient and the closest, and I would inconvenience the least. And never met him before, didn't know who he was. All I knew is that he answered the call and was willing to respond. About 7:30 the same evening, we heard a plane fly over. It was a little Citabria on skis, perfect plane for the job. We're already crossing over into about 16 hours of daylight, so flying late in the afternoon was not a problem. One of the best things about these situations is we get to meet new friends. Our latest friends turn out to be Michael and John. Both these guys are F-22 Raptor pilots in the Air Force stationed at Elmendorf. More than willing to help, and we're very appreciative of that. So we unloaded the plane. We had some cargo to go back to town, some moose meat, some farm fresh eggs, and a couple other things for our kids that are in Anchorage, and a little extra there for Michael and John as well. And we tried to practice our social distancing protocols and talked for a little while, and before we knew it, they were back in the plane and off they went. April 8th, rather breezy today. Don't know if we can pull this one off, but we found the other day that when we got our seed potato delivery from Ryan and Michael, realized the next morning that half of it was missing, that the order didn't get completely filled. So we've since gotten that, and so we're looking for a second delivery. Beautiful day, about 34 degrees, but it is very windy.
About 5 to the west, southeast bound, 2,400.
All right, so he's down. The difficult part, though, is he going to be able to maneuver on the ground? Usually the big problem is making the turn because the wind is so strong. The tail doesn't usually want to make the turn on these small planes. Yeah, he's going to take a different approach. Okay, that'll work. Fortunately, the ungroomed part around the runway is crusty, and he's not even sinking in, so this is fortunate. So, different day, same airplane, different pilot. Today we have Ryan. Ryan is part owner in the airplane with Michael. Ryan's also an F-22 fighter pilot, and was had the day off and was gracious enough to back us up and do a second flight for us. How lucky is that?
Really?
All right, a little unorthodox today, but that's what the wind dictated. It's perfect. Good thing that the snow is crusty. Maneuvers he did today wouldn't have been possible a couple of weeks ago. But it worked out ideally today. And that's likely to be the last folks we'll see for a while. Mother Nature's isolation will start to kick in now. You know, it's folks like this that make it possible for Paula and I to live here, in all honesty. And on Paula and my behalf, I want to thank everybody that responded, whether passing on our Facebook post or notifying another pilot of a possibility. Everybody that touched this operation, thank you so much. We truly appreciate it, and we're proud to be Alaskans.